I challenged myself in 2025 to watch more movies in the theaters and read more books. How'd it go? I should probably give a little bit of context. At the end of 2024, as the year was coming to a close, and I was reflecting on the things in that year that I enjoyed, in terms of movies, television, comics, books, whatever, I found that there was precious little I enjoyed, or that I had engaged with. My list was sparse. I've made lists over the past many years of my favorites, just a habit from podcasting days of yore, and to see just how hard it was that year and how little there was got me a little thoughtful about how to approach things in the future. It made me question if I liked anything, really. I just stopped making effort. So at the beginning of 2025, I decided to give myself a little bit of a challenge. And that was to watch one movie every month and read one book every 2 months. So the thought being, at the end of the year, I'd at least see 12 movies. And at the end of the year, I'd have at least 6 books under my belt. If I wanted to, I could blow through all those in the first month or first couple months. And that's kind of what I ended up doing to some extent. I technically finished my movie challenge on September with Superman. And I never finished the book challenge. That's kind of where we're sitting on the movie front. I ultimately saw, I would say, 17 films in the theaters. And that was the stipulation for the movie challenge, was they had to be in the theaters and engaged in that theater going experience. So I saw 17 movies, and they were all okay. The highlights, the best of the year from those, Sinners and Kill Bill, were the best movies I saw this year in theaters. And now that's kind of weird, right? Because Kill Bill is many years old. Well, they re-released it. Let me just run down the list, and you can kind of see where I'm coming from. On the movie front, I started the year with Companion in February. Dogman. Took the family to that one. We had Paddington in Peru, The Monkey, Mickey 17, The Day the Earth Blew Up, Until Dawn, Sinners, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, Bring Her Back, The Phoenician Scheme, Superman, Fantastic Four, First Steps, Together, Weapons, Frankenstein, and Kill Bill. There were a couple things you might have noticed. Very few family films, and a lot of just mid-tier theater-going experiences. When I say Sinners was the best movie of the year, it was the best film of the year. Like, in terms of filmmaking, writing, cinematography, acting, everything in that realm, all the pieces were firing on all cylinders. And you may or may not like the movie, but that was the only one that was trying, if I may be so mean. There are some other ones that were pretty good, but not without their problems. Bring Her Back, from the folks who did Talk to Me. I love Talk to Me. A couple of years ago. Bring Her Back was very good, but it was also very bleak, and it may have been a little too bleak for my tastes. And then you had The Day the Earth Blew Up. Fantastic Looney Tunes film, but there is a problem. I keep forgetting I went to see that. And I don't know if that's a factor of just how little marketing it had, how little cultural relevance it has. I don't know. But it stands there as like maybe a good third or fourth in the lineup of ranking the movies. But I'm looking at the list here. I have it on my little notes in front of me, and it is just what it is. And let's move over to the book challenge. I think out of the movie challenge was fine. I was feeling a little sad that I didn't see that many movies, but it was never really hard. I was never going to not succeed the movie challenge part. That was not the worry. The book challenge, on the other hand, I was rightfully concerned. I didn't read it all last year in terms of what you would say, what you would think of terms of a challenge like this. Like I didn't pick up books. I started last year with some Lee Child books, Reacher books, because I was like really getting into that show. But then I stopped. For the remainder of the year, nothing. I maybe gave a couple chapters to the Canterbury Tales, but no, largely uninterested. And that to me felt wrong. So, 6 books. And as we're at the end of the year, I might actually reach it. It's hard to say. The problem is that I've had some last minutes that came in and kind of brought me close. But overall, the effort for reading this year has been pretty pathetic. So for books, the ones I did get done, I started with the, what is it called? The Chaosborn trilogy from Drew Karpyshyn. Children of Fire, Scorched Earth, Chaos Unleashed. Drew Karpyshyn worked on Mass Effect, and he wrote my favorite Star Wars books ever, the Darth Bane trilogy. And so I was excited to read this like fantasy directly from him, just like this thing that wasn't from a thing, if I may be so generic in my speech. And the books were really great. I liked the characters, the interplay, the banter. It was all really well done. And a nice, tidy trilogy that just began well and ended well and was good. I liked it. And those were the easiest reads for me, in that for those 3 books, I got them all done in January. And then I decided to jump into the Canterbury Tales, which was my failure point from last year. I was like, I'm nothing if not stubborn. So I tried that, and I got about halfway through the book before I stopped. And then that pattern started happening again, which is when I decided I should probably do a live stream. Make the reading be something that other people could hold me accountable for, just because I'm doing it in a public way. So in that case, I reread The Green Knight, and then just recently finished Frankenstein. And on my own time, I started 3 Hearts and 3 Lions. Ultimately, if I were to finish Canterbury Tales in the next 2 weeks, and 3 Hearts and 3 Lions, I could hit my challenge. Otherwise, I'm short. And that's worth thinking about. Throughout my years, reading has never really been encouraged. Like as a youngster, it was more encouraged. It was more pushed for. But then as I got older, it just kind of fell away. And I stopped. I kind of fell out of love with it. And if I were to come up with some new plan for the new year, it might be more book focused. Just to kind of lock that down. As of 2025 going into 2026, books win out on the worthy scale between all the media. Like the movies were, I can count on one hand the greats of this year. On the books, everything I've read has been fantastic. Now, granted, there's some selection bias in some of this, so I'm sure if I were to read every book in order of release and with no restrictions, I might feel the same way. But I was also fairly intentional in my movie going too. There's so many things. And this is a little bit of a rambly video. I just wanted to get this out because I am interested in... Movies are kind of a thing that drew me into entertainment in general. I love movies and movie making. That's why I got into editing. And it's why I do what I do. And to be falling out of love with it is concerning for me. Now, for the future, what's ahead? I think I'm not going to do a challenge. I think challenge is maybe the wrong way to go. Because at the end of the day, what I did here is I tried to do the bare minimum. And then it just kind of faltered. The challenge was doing the challenge and that was it. And if the goal was to get myself to go to more movies and just to enjoy the theatrical experience as it is for itself, for its own reason, then I failed. Now I need to maybe shift it, think about it in a different way. I need to go see movies habitually. I need to read more books habitually. I need to engage in these things naturally. So I'm thinking I'm going to try and document movies and books that I've watched in video form. I'm going to keep myself accountable online, visually, in front of people, and see how that works. Maybe something will come of it. Who knows? I hope I can come back to this video in 2027 and reflect on what a success that was and how that maybe it was the right thing to do and got me back into things. I don't know. That's pretty much all I have. I don't have an ending to this. So I guess I'll leave you to it. Enjoy the new year. And I hope to see you guys around. Let's chill sometimes. No. That's not a good ending. What am I doing? How about